Hi everybody. I just wanted to let you know this would be our last lesson. I just wanted to say thank you to Aubrey and Georgia and Brennan, Jude, Tam, and Olivia for being part of this Sunday school. Now our lesson today is a very short and simple lesson, but it's a very important lesson. And it goes like this. Before Jesus left the earth to ascend into heaven, he told his disciples to go into all the world and preach the gospel and tell people about him. Now the people who listened to the disciples and became believers were called the early believers. And these early believers were great at sharing things. They were great at sharing food and clothing and money in their home and their love of Jesus. And people saw how happy they were, and they too wanted to become a believer. So as people learned about Jesus, the church grew and grew and grew. So how did the church start? Well, I have a little chart here, and it started with Jesus, with one person. Jesus taught his disciples. The disciples taught the early believers about Jesus, and the believers spread the good news into the whole world. So let's see where this all started. So I have a globe here, and we're going to find where we live, and we live in the United States, in Ohio. So we're like right in here. And if you go clear across the ocean, and you're going to go past Africa and north, you're going to find a little country about right in there called Israel. And that's where Jerusalem was. So how did all this good news travel clear from here to over here? Well, you realize there weren't any cell phones or TV or internet. So it just had to travel by people telling other people about Jesus. Now I said the church grew and grew. And what do I mean by the church? Well, when I say I'm going to church, you probably think about the building over on Liberty Avenue, and that's the church. But we're not going there right now, are we? So you might say, well, we are doing church on Zoom, where we listen to people read lessons and sing, and the pastor tells a sermon. And yes, that is our church right now, but what is the church? Well, the church is actually people who believe. Everyone who believes. People that have died that believed, people that live now are believers, and people that will believe in the future. The believers are people from Vermilion, the whole state of Ohio, the whole country, even the whole world. That's what the church is. Now, I bet you didn't know you were a member of such a big church. Now we're going to do our craft. And what you'll need for this is a piece of paper and some scissors, and you're going to cut strips of paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a chain. And this is going to show how, when we share, things grow and make something wonderful. Now on the first piece of paper, I want you to write your name. So there I have my name, Deb. And then on the other papers, I want you to write things that you can share. And I'll tell you what I wrote on mine. So I have money, I have my time, hugs, my Kindle, and love. And I'll show you how you make this chain, because I saved one and I put food on that. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure the words are on the outside, and you're going to fold it over like this, and you're going to either glue it or you're going to staple it. And you can do as many as you want and make a big chain. Just think of things that you can share or ways that you can share with people. Now our leaflet is called The Early Believers, and on the first page I want you to find things that people are sharing. So what do you see in the picture where the early believers are sharing? And again, you'll put your big sticker on the front page. And on the second page, you can draw a picture of yourself sharing. On the third page, the picture is a clue as to what words we put in here. And it asks the question, what happens when Christians share? And the church, something and something. So what you'll do is you will connect the dots around the cross, just the red dots first, and then you will do the yellow or green and blue, then the yellow, and just keep going and see what your picture forms. And you can put your stickers on the bottom of the sheet to complete the sentences. Now the last page talks about missionaries, and missionaries are people that tell other people about Jesus. And a lot of times they go to different countries and they have to learn different languages, and in order to be able to communicate with the people and tell people the story about Jesus. So here's 4 different ways, 4 different languages that you can learn how to say peace be with you. 4 different languages. So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that the church is made up of all believers. The early believers were very generous, and they shared their food and clothing and money and homes and their love of Jesus. And Jesus wants us to share with other people. Share what we have and share what we believe so that the church can grow. I hope you have a good summer, and I hope I will see you soon.